48F energy bailout. Now I'm just making this outdoors on the 20th of September 2022, and I'm of the opinion that this is the time equinox when the days and nights are the same length in the northern hemisphere and probably southern hemisphere as well. Anyway, that's why I'm just making it outside. It's about 10 a.m. in the morning, or a little earlier, on the 20th of September. So you're very welcome back. Now, the weather is superb here in Ireland. All the harvest has got, and never was as good, and there's still enough moisture. But what I'm getting on about is more on this energy thing. Now, it's in the Sunday Independent, and the date of the Sunday Independent is the 11th of September 2022. And it says every household is in line for a credit bill of €600. A credit bill. Now, bear in mind, a lot of people I speak to already think they're going to get a check for €600. You're not. You'll get a credit off your electricity and gas bills. Now, unfortunately, it uses energy for both electricity and gas, and that is a great nuisance, because they're two separate things in many cases. So what is happening, I won't read it out to you, is that they're proposing to give €600 over the next 3 billing periods, which is 2 months. The government is considering introducing 3 electricity credit payments totaling €600 or more to every household between now and the next budget, as part of measures to address the cost of living, the Sunday Independent can reveal, so a big exclusive, Now, it would mean that each bi-monthly bill will be reduced by 200 or more, okay? So between 200 and more, and is strongly backed by Fianna Fáil ministers. Wouldn't it just be? Yeah. The energy credit expected to be made available before Christmas is likely to exceed 200 given to households earlier this year. So it's going to exceed they already give 200 of a bailout. Now, we're in much more significant, challenging position than we were this spring. Well, who advised Eamon Ryan that by now we would be in a very challenging position? One senior figure suggested the payments could be increased by €250, so that there's an auction on as to who gets the most. But the important point is that the Green Party had a think in down in Clare. So I'd say they're beginning to wonder about the vote. Hopefully we'll be able to undermine the vote and head for net zero, which means zero number of Green TDs being elected in the next Dáil. I'm sorry for the noise here because of the traffic on a motorway beside me here. Now, so anyway, Colin McCartney always said there'd be a bailout. But one of the things about this, I'll just check it here. So there's also a working family payment being considered. So they're giving it away like confetti. That's the bottom line. Now, however, it has also emerged that Public Expenditure Minister Michael McGrath admonished ministerial colleagues at Cabinet last week over their spending requests. They're throwing it around like confetti. And why not give everyone a printing press? Why not give everyone a little handheld thing that'll print €50? That'll solve the whole thing. McGrath delivered what is a source described as a dose of reality to ministers, some of whom had submitted budget bids 20% above their current spending. So that each minister wants 20% more. Mr. McGrath said the annual budget for new measures, separate to the one-off cost of living package, will be €1.3 billion. And they already have 234 billion borrowed, meaning resources are limited, and that 6% increase are the maximum this will have to include. So 6%, he says, the maximum cost of public sector pay deal, which is backed by unions. So the public sector are looking for an inflationary increase. The EU is to table measures next week placing a levy, now this is very important, on non-gas electricity companies, using nuclear, solar and renewables. So now they're going to tax nuclear, solar and renewables to supply energy, are recording significant revenues because electricity market prices are closely linked to gas prices. You see, the lie that's been told here is that gas forms a big part of the electricity all over Europe supply, and therefore, as the price of gas increases, they will charge the same for other forms of generation. So, if we had the peat burning station at Lanesborough and in Ireland, if we had that peat burning station, so if we had that peat burning station, it would get the gas price. These idiots have linked and allowed to be linked the wholesale price of electricity to whatever the highest source is. So if one particular source, let's say peat, goes to 50,000 per megawatt hour, then everyone else gets the same. If gas goes to 50,000 per megawatt hour, everyone else gets the same. And everything that goes up, everything else gets the same. Instead of having it that you pay for the various types of fuel sources as is agreed. Wind should be getting its price. No, it's getting the gas price. And they have allowed this to happen. And now, according to this, the EU is to table measures. So they're trying now to claw back some of the money, because company profits are flying up at the expense of consumers because of the regime they have in place. Now, so speaking at the party's think-in in County Clare yesterday, Mr. Ryan said, we're talking several billion euros. Yes, several billion of our money, Eamon, not of yours, by the way. So, several billion euro that we will be able to redeploy to help our people by taking it from energy companies which have an excess revenue that was not due to anything that we have done. This is a significant step towards protection. It is to do with what you have done. You have, way back in 2010, set the refit price, the renewable energy feed-in tariff price. Eamon, you have set the price at the normal price for everything. In other words, whatever the highest fuel is, whatever that may be, it happens to be gas at the moment, which is expensive. All the other sources, including wind and solar, gets the same. You did that. You did that to drive on your green daydream. And now you're talking about what great things you're going to do to extricate the bill payers from this situation. If there could be easily 1 in 4 people in energy arrears, are they going to go around and cut them all off in the depths of winter? This is the reality of the situation. I go back to what he's blathering on about here. Speaking ahead, thinking in County Clare, Mr. Ryan said, we're talking several billion euros we will be able to deploy to help our people from your mess. So to help our people by taking it from the energy companies which have an excess revenue because of your rules that were not due to anything that they have done. In other words, they got this money as a windfall. They made this money because of your stupid rules. They didn't have to do anything to earn it. Mr. Ryan said government has been planning for every eventuality amid increasing uncertainty in energy markets and rising costs. In the last 3 weeks, they were up from 50%. Now, in the last few weeks, 3 weeks, they went up about 50%, went down 30%, went up again 30%. So we can't be absolutely certain, but we do have to prepare and provide for potentially high bills of this nature, and that is what we're doing what we're going to do at scale, at speed, targeted as best we can, but also using some of the universal measures that we've already used. Because those sort of bills hit every home, and we have to help every home. I hope they hit the home of the idiots who voted for the Greens. I hope they do. Let's put them in the frost and make them think of the enormity of what they've done. They've imposed this upon people like me. Okay, now so at speed, and don't forget they have the media on their side, because those sort of bills hit every home. Energy and measures to support struggling families and businesses were the focus of yesterday's think-in, with members of the parliamentary party and local councillors examining permanent cost of living supports. So we leave it at that. Essentially, they're going to bail out from the taxpayer, from EU funds, from getting clawing back levies for too much. They give too much to the non-gas companies. They have a mess of a situation. No rational person would ever charge suppliers based on an overall price. Nobody would ever do that. If you go into a hardware store and you buy a length of timber, you pay the timber price. You do not pay the cement price. If you want a bit of steel, you pay the price for steel. If you want aluminium, you pay the price for aluminium. But the way these idiots have arranged it is everything costs 50 euros, everything. So you can get a flash lamp will cost you 50 euros, a tin of paint will be 50 euros, and if you get a pallet of cement to build an estate, it's 50 euros as well. This is the idiocy of these people, the idiocies of these people. And we can see it. All I can do is try and bring it to your attention. Folks, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. We'll see you back for something else soon. Thank you.